Okay, it's recording now.
Okay, here we go.
Well, then I definitely shouldn't eat.
Okay, so first of all, I want to congratulate Sylvia for hitting senior coach this month. She did a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Shelly, who said she's running late, she also hit it. So that's really exciting. And that's a big deal because that means that you're really starting to help a lot of people and you're getting in the rhythm of doing it. And, you know, nobody's perfect. It's a work in progress and we're learning as we go and we fall in love with coaching one coach at a time or one client at a time, I should say. So that's all great. Really good. And Sylvia, how does it feel to coach 5 people?
It's exciting. I really like it. I like it when they ask me questions like I'm the expert. So feel, I feel good answering, and I remember a lot of things that you mentioned when I was a client. I mean, I'm still a client, but yeah. So I wrote a lot of things, so I go back to my notes sometimes. It feels good.
Good.
Yeah, and Sylvia, keep in mind that even though you feel like the expert, you don't have to be the expert. So our role as a health coach is really to be an accountability partner and to walk the journey with somebody, but also to give them the confidence that this, you know, that you will feel good and this will get easier, you know, that kind of thing during the first 3 days. And you're somebody who's walked the journey before them, but you know, we don't have to be the expert in everything. We know where the resources are and where to guide them. And we want people to also be able to find out things for themselves. So don't feel like you have to give them every single answer. Like, feel free to say, well, I'm pretty sure that's in your, you know, look on your lean list and your Optavia guide. Which I do that a lot. I'm like, well, I'm not sure, but I think it's, you know, if you look up on blah, 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 so that they are empowered to be able to kind of do for themselves too.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, I do that sometimes. They text me and they ask me, why don't, you know, like on the green says, or is this vegetable allowed? So I said, you know, I'm not 100%, but look on page 19, 18 and 19 of the guide. And
Exactly.
so they said, okay, thank you so much. So things like that, I know. I always tell them that I'm not an expert. I'm still trying to lose my weight. And if they, like they say they cheated, I said, no, you're not cheating, it's just life. But then I do that often, so we all just have to remember that we have to get back on track. And so
Exactly.
yeah, so I know
Great.
they think I'm the expert, but I'm far from being an expert.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think people just really appreciate knowing they're not being judged and that, you know, you're there for them, and that's what it is. It's really just that relationship of, you know, walking the journey with them, being there for them, supporting them, and reserving judgment.
Yes, I like that. And I really, that was one of the things that drew me to this program, because I felt like when I had a personal trainer, I felt judged. Why did you do that? No, you're not doing that right. Or he just let me do whatever I wanted to do. But over here, I feel that there's no judgment, but there is accountability, and I like that.
That's great. And that's what you're offering to your clients. So
Yes.
that's wonderful.
And I always say we teach most what we need to learn. So we're learning, and that's why coaches are 5 times more likely to keep their weight off and stay accountable to the program, because you're a living, breathing example of how the program works. So you're doing a great job, Sylvia, and this is only the beginning.
Yes.
So keep it up. So when I was running this race this morning, I was thinking about all of you. When you're running that long, you get a lot of time to think. I was thinking that I, having not gone into this race as prepared or well trained as I would have liked to or hoped to, there are certain things that come up in every race. And I've been a runner for the majority of my life and competed in different races the majority of my life. So coming from like an athlete standpoint and kind of comparing that to our coaching process that we go through, I really was thinking about like starting this month off strong and creating a goal. So I knew that this race was coming up on June 4th. I didn't plan or prepare for this race as much as I possibly could have, but I knew that come this day, I was going to do it come hell or high water. And if I had to walk, I was going to walk, but you know, I believed in my body that I could do it. And so there are different things that come along. And I was talking to my sister after the race. I don't think any runner kind of goes through a race like this without feeling any aches or pains. And it's a point of pushing yourself beyond the level of being comfortable. So when you start to feel those aches and pains, whether it's in your knees or your feet or your neck or your back, you don't say, okay, I'm going to give up, right? So I was thinking about how to relate that to the coaching world. And so when we get a client who doesn't want to be coached, or a client that's not following the plan, or somebody that says no when you do a pre-client share, do we want to give up, or do we want to say, no, come on, I've got 5 more people to help. I really have to get on the phone and pick it up. And I was thinking about that for myself in this process and for everybody else, of like, we have, in order for us to grow, we have to push beyond our comfort zone. And our comfort zone, I know for me, my comfort zone is when people call me. When I get a Facebook, I post something, you know, on Facebook and just put it out there by chance that people call me, or they text me or message me. So how can I do this? By pushing outside of my comfort zone like I could in the race. And to me, that is picking up the phone and getting outside of what comes natural. Because growing an integrated business is great and exciting, and you know, I get to help coaches, but I also work with clients as well, and it's great that my coaches are doing so well, and that's been my focus. But I realize in order to continue to grow, I got to pick up the phone to make sure that the clients keep coming in the door. So it's never a flow of not coaching clients. You always have your clients. You got to, you know, if you want to grow your business to the level of also having coaches, you got to do both at the same time. So if you can't like let off the gas and, you know, just you got to keep going gently with both aspects. So I thought, just in general, thinking about like, what are people's limits of their comfort zone, and what are some things that you guys could do to push yourself beyond? So what could you do to hit ED? What could you do to go from senior coach to manager? What could you do to go from health coach to senior coach? What are some things you guys think you could do that maybe you haven't done, or you have just gotten your toes wet and you know it's like that uncomfortable place? Karen's thinking about it.
To follow up on the phone, I think, and not just email or text.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I think we get it's safe to do email or text. That's a safe way to go. But I think that we get a better response sometimes if we call. And if they don't respond, that's okay. Then you call again in a couple of days, or you text.
You know, just to mention, I don't remember who it is, but I remember having a client that I would leave messages, you know, now and then, and they would never call back. And at one time I finally got to speak to this client, and this is, you know, your messages really helped. You know, just hearing from you really helped. So although we might think we're annoying, you know, if they can't answer the phone, they won't answer the phone. And then just leave a really caring message. You know, hey, Karen, I was just thinking about you. You know, we haven't connected in a while, and just wondering how you're doing. I thought of you today, and I hope you're doing well. That would be maybe for a client that you sort of lost touch with. You know, so that's a little bit different than reaching out for a new client, but it's still a way to keep engaged with your old clients, so they might re-engage or pop back on plan at some point when they need to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've had that happen too. And I've had people, like, I call them a couple of times, and then and they're don't respond. And then out of the blue, they text me and they say, I'm not hiding. I owe you a phone call. I'm so sorry. Life has gotten crazy. How about this day? So they do care. It is appreciative. And I think it's always okay to also throw out there, I don't want to bother you, you know? So I'll put the ball in your court and you let me know what time works for you. And then that's usually when you give them the off the hook is when they usually come back. So.
That's what I struggle with. The follow-up calls. I feel like I'm annoying them, and if they don't answer the phone call, I don't know what to tell them. I'm just like, I just get very nervous. I don't know what to say to them.
Are you talking about client follow-ups, like someone who's on plan?
No, the client follow-up, but like the people, like if I want them to come and do the program.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you sent them information or if you had a conversation, depending on how you left it when you left that last conversation, you could say, I know we spoke 3 weeks ago and you were kind of thinking about program, but at the time you weren't sure you were ready because blah, blah, blah. So I just wanted to give a call and follow up. So when you have a pre-client call, try to keep notes so that you remember and you can go back and say, I know we spoke early April and at the time you were about to go on vacation and you were thinking of plan. Just wanted to reach out and see if now is a better time.
Okay.
I think if you can touch on what your last interaction was and kind of remind them, then it's a legit follow-up, because last time they weren't ready for whatever reason, but this way you can remember if it's written down.
Okay.
Yeah. And people can take months or a year, but they're watching you. They're watching you to see if you're still successful. They're watching you to share with, what your clients are doing, watching you on Facebook. So they're, it's not like they're not, chiming. It's not that they're not observing, I should say. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, hi, Karen.
Hi, sorry to be late. Been a busy day.
Okay.
Thank you for having me, though.
Yeah, of course. So this is June. So my big thing, this June 4th, my big thing is every month, I like to start off by printing out 5 health trackers. Those are going to be my 5 new clients for the month. Mm-hmm. I print out who my clients are, the orders. I'll show you. You go into your Office in Motion and you print out your scheduled B-Slim client orders. And these are everybody that's going to place an order for the month. And this is how I kind of keep track, because I get emails every day of 7-day orders, 4-day orders, submitted, shipping, and it gets a little overwhelming. So I go through this list every day and I make sure that I have talked to each client. If they haven't updated their order, I be sure to reach out to them and ask them if they, give them the warning that it needs to be changed by today or tomorrow at this time. And if they need help, let me know. But usually they got it, but I just kind of offer that just in case they need it.
Nora, do you just do that for their second order?
No, I go through and do this every month because, people get really busy, and I know if somebody hasn't updated their order, then they probably have bypassed through those emails. Mm-hmm. And that usually is the case. So I kind of double check every morning. This is the first thing I kind of look at and see who's got orders in the next 3 or 4 days, just to kind of double check. I don't ever want anybody's order to go through if they don't want it to go through the way it is. And people really appreciate that, because I also, a lot of people don't like automatic shipment. And my biggest thing when I sign on a new client, I always say to them, nothing ships automatically. So you're going to get an email in 7 days, you're going to get an email in 4 days. And I don't ever want a client order to go through. So I will always check in with you and see where you are. And then it gives you another reason to touch base. So if that person, and this happens a lot, if that person doesn't answer their coaching calls, then they're probably going to respond to this if they don't want that order to go through. So that gives just another reason. So just before the first of the month, there are 3 things that I print out. I print out 5 health trackers. I print out my scheduled B-Slim orders. And if you're senior coach or above, and Sylvia, we'll go over this this next week. We haven't talked about it yet. I print out my map.
Okay.
And What?
Oh, no, I said, okay.
And the map is for senior coaches to grow to executive directors. And I still do it. And I take my map and I check off the orders as they go through each month. And if I have my pre-client list, I check them off if they sign up, or I add new pre-clients in there. So this is something I can go through with everybody. If you've hit senior coach and above, to kind of go through, or Janet, go through with you, Karen, if you want, if you haven't done it already. But for me, it's just a really good tracking device, and it keeps the momentum going with me.
Nora sends her map the first of every month. We get Nora's map, and it's a working document for her, and it just gives her that concrete visual thing of, who are my potential clients. And so she's always thinking who would be a potential client. And as she goes through her daily life, she thinks of somebody and she'll put them on the list. And once they're on that list, she's more likely to reach out to them or to make it happen. When you write something down, if you have an errand to do and you write it down, sometimes putting it on that paper, it makes it happen. So that's the benefit of that map. She always can see, oh yeah, this person's on my potential coach list, but I really haven't reached out to them. Maybe I should do that. So it's there for her at the beginning of the month, and she can refer to it. And I think it really helped her to grow.
Yeah, and I love to cross things off a list.
Me too.
That's how I do my to-do. So like, if you look at my orders for the month, I check them off as they go through, because I just like to do that. It gives me a sense of accomplishment. I don't know what it is. Even if I feel like I'm not doing anything, I check something off. And then like, I track all the my coaches' businesses. You guys are on here as you grow to executive directors or above, to get there. So that's how I can kind of keep tabs. And then I want to see your map so I can help you as the month continues to grow to see, okay, what happens. And let's say somebody doesn't order for a particular month, I cross them off and I put my new person in there. Just so I know, so this says, and this is before Optavia came through, that 23 clients will make you executive director, but this was at a lower price point. So I think
it's like 18 to 20 now.
It's 18 to 20.
Okay.
My goal is always fill it. And to tell you honestly, like, as some of my great coaches have become, as some of my great clients who were referring business to me have become coaches, my volume of clients has dropped a little bit. So that's a sign to me that I need to pick up the phone and I need to step it up. So I fill this out every month to make sure I've got at least those 23 people or more to go to those orders go through. So, and Janet looks at my map and gives me the feedback, even if it's a like hip hip hooray or whatever it is, or
I try to give a little more than that.
More than that, but I was going to say, but it definitely, is a good document for me. So start your month off strong, print out 5 health trackers, or however many you need. So Karen, after you do your map, how many you need to hit that 18 to 20 mark, right? So how many health trackers do you need to print out? It's like, it's putting it out there in the universe. Now they're not, those 4, 5, 8 clients are just not going to magically appear. We got to make it happen. So it's really about getting the word out about what you're doing and reaching out to people and trying to generate that, I
want to just share something, because I have no warm market, right? Because I've been doing this for 6 years. So unless I meet someone new or somebody, comes along on Facebook, it's strictly referrals. And I just want to share that I have some close friends, like from high school or whatever, that they have my back and they send me referrals even though they're not on program. They know what I do and they want to help me and they send me people. So it's like referrals that aren't even from clients. So think about the people in your life, your family, your friends that are not on program. do they, can you have a phone call with them and say, look, I know you know people that I don't know, and I just want you to understand what it is that my program is about. Like, could we just have a 20-minute call so that, if you know anyone, you could refer to me? And that's the kind of thing you're going to ask referrals from your clients. But these might be people in your life that aren't on program. And I really encourage that, because lately, I have these friends sharing clients with me that they haven't even been on program themselves, but they know what I do.
Mm-hmm. That's huge. And I've had that happen too, where they just know me as somebody that helps people. So, they know that they can come to me and let know what I'm doing.
I think that's coming from Shelly's line. Shelly, you got to mute yourself.
I realize on my iPad I can't hear everybody.
That's good.
So you
There's
get
some
it.
kind of noise coming from her.
Congratulations, Shelly. I'm glad you joined. I wanted to, we congratulate Sylvia for hitting senior coach, but Shelly also did a great job hitting senior coach. And Shelly, could you share how you got this 5th client? Because I think it's a great example to everybody how just you never know by chance that it's going to happen.
Oh, sure. Sorry, I muted myself before. Tell me if I'm technologically challenged, so tell me if there's bad noise in the background. But, the 5th client. Okay, so it was the last day of the month or whatever, and I don't know, what time of day was it? My daughter had a dance class. It was probably 5 in the afternoon. And so I was sitting in her dance class, and normally I would be with a bunch of the moms who I know well because they all are in the same school class together. And so normally I'm just talking with those moms who already know me, they know what I do, blah, blah, blah. But this particular day, none of them were there for whatever reason. And so I just happened to be sitting next to this other gal whose daughter was also in the dance class, but someone that I don't really know well. I'd kind of seen her before, at the class, but hadn't really engaged in a discussion with her before. And so I was just sitting with her, and there was no one else there, and I'm just a chatter, so I just started talking to her and just asking her about herself, and just sort of kind of found out that she was pregnant, and she was actually pregnant because she's a surrogate. She's actually, anyway, I learned a lot about her, but and I asked a million questions, and then she then started asking me what I do. And so I told her, and then she was like, oh, she's like, you can tell, obviously I'm pretty overweight, and, I really need to sort of find some help to, she didn't want her weight to get out of control with this pregnancy as it had done with others. And then she also sort of didn't want to put herself at risk for gestational diabetes. And so I was just like, I can help you. And sort of that's how it happened.
Yeah, and
Wow.
obviously Shelly's not putting her on a weight loss plan.
Yeah.
But what she's putting her on is a 3-in-3 optimal health plan that can really help this woman thrive through a wonderful, healthy pregnancy. Now, the beautiful thing that Shelly and I were talking about when this all was going down was that Shelly's not only got the connection with this now woman who's pregnant, but she's got the surrogate family who's watching and playing, so who knew that just opening yourself up to having a different kind of conversation with somebody you don't really know, what that can lead to in the last day of the month.
Yeah. Well, that's great that you started the conversation and asked about her. I think that's exactly how we do it. And then naturally she asked about you. I'm just curious. You don't have her on a low calorie thing, right? You're just adding fuelings to her day, but you're not going below. I think, did you talk to Health Nutrition Services about it?
I didn't. I was just going to put her on like a 2,000 to 2,500, calorie plan that it would include 3 meals a day plus the fuelings, and just talk to her about sort of in her 3 meals, just the choices that are keeping things lower on the glycemic scale, choosing sweet potatoes versus whatever, or choosing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I happen to have a gestational diabetes pregnancy outline for a meal plan, because my sister-in-law had gestational diabetes, and so I have her plan from her nutritionist. So Shelly and I kind of went through what that might look like. So yeah, we talked about 2,000 to 2,500, and it's really just about well-balanced eating.
Right.
Yeah.
You can use
And they need enough calories, and they need to get all their calcium.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's, I'm sharing that information, and I told her to share it with her doctor and everything, just to,
No, but that's great that you opened yourself up to meeting someone new.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so a couple of things to learn from there for everybody is, number one, sometimes, and I do this in my daughter's dance class, there are 5 of us moms, and we sit there and we're chatty Cathy's, and there's a whole room of other people that we may not talk to.
Yeah.
So same at the baseball field, sitting on the bleachers, everywhere we go, like, open yourself up to getting, to reaching outside your comfort zone and really seeing, what everybody else is up to, and seeing if, they might know of people, or, by just the conversation of what you do. What do you do? The other thing was, not everybody is necessarily a 5-in-1 candidate. So here's a perfect example of Shelly's 5th client is a 3-in-3. So you might hear that somebody's pregnant and think, oh, I can't help them because we can't lose weight, but you got to think outside that box. So there's a lot of people that do not need to lose weight, but definitely need help with healthier eating.
Mm-hmm.
And I've helped clients like that, and a lot of coaches have. And there may not just be the healthy eating, which can change their lives. Look at Matt Hagay, for example, right? Like, he is a healthy individual, but losing those couple of pounds changed his body, myself included. Getting beyond just thinking people in weight loss, because they might also need the healthy mind, and they might need the healthy finances, which you never know where that might lead. I mean, I was approached around the healthy finances aspect, and I got the healthy body, and I'm definitely still working on the healthy mind aspect. And I think the same with Matt. Matt, approached Jackie, didn't approach Matt. Matt approached Jackie. So, you never know where it can. So, anybody have any struggles that they want to talk about with getting clients or anything? No? Yes? No? Okay.
I know I do.
Yeah, go for it. Who wants to talk? Go
Me?
ahead, Karen. Yeah, go ahead, Karen. I can see Karen.
Me, Karen?
Yep.
Which Karen? Oh, yeah, I struggle all the time. Like, when people say just get 5 clients, I'm like, yeah, how? Like, I know I've been to teachings and everything, but it just doesn't happen. I work at a gym. It's got to be something I'm doing. I see Matt Hagee getting clients up the yin yang, and but I'm not willing to be a salesperson. Like, I just don't know what it is. I'm in my way somehow, and I've tried several different ways, but I just can't seem to get there. Like, when you guys are talking about getting your friends to get referrals for you, I would never do that. I would think that was annoying them, and I would never do that. It's just, it's got to be a mindset that I have.
Yeah, so that's a concept. That's a thought that you have in your mind about that. We talked a little bit about those thoughts, and that's the chatter. We talked about this last Zoom. The chatter goes on in our mind that we're annoying people or
Right.
them. And what Janet said, and I found, is like, I have some core girlfriends, like really core girlfriends that I've known practically my whole life, and they would do anything for me. And they don't need to necessarily lose weight or anything like that, but they have my best interests at heart. And so, just sending them, sending them a message like, hey, look at, you've seen me, especially you, Karen, because you've lost so much weight and your husband's life has changed as well. So really reaching out to them and saying, I'm doing this as a health coach, I'm doing this as a business, and I'm looking to grow. Do you know anyone that needs help? If you do, I would love for you to think of me, and they would probably be honored. They would probably be honored.
No. They think it's annoying. They're like me. We're all of the same ilk. They find it annoying. Like my family finds it annoying that I'm a coach. My friends, they just are like, they still think that it's flaky and not healthy. And my family, a lot of my brothers and sisters think that. And it's just, they wouldn't do it.
Have they said that to you?
Yeah, we're very honest with each other. My friends all tried the bars and stuff. They got sick. They got nauseous. They didn't like them. So they're not going to recommend it to anybody. I'm being honest.
Go outside your friends.
I guess so. I'm just saying, I find it difficult where I see people doing it, and I've been doing it longer, and I see people having so much success. I'm finding it very disheartening. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know it's me. I know it's me.
I agree. I agree a little bit with Karen because my family, I have a large family, and I have a sister, and I called her when I became a health coach, and and I said, I know your blood pressure, you have issues with that. I can help you. I told her my story. She knew my story, but I told her again. And she says, okay, when I'm ready, I'll call you. But I saw her on Mother's Day. I saw her, and she came, and she's bragging about that she's lost 10 pounds on this diet. And I'm thinking, like, she didn't call me. And I told her.
And they all try isogenics. They're all happy to try all these other things.
But
so I'm like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah, and I feel that. So I talked to Nora, and I said I kind of took it personal. But then what I said to her at that moment is like, as long as you get healthy, do whatever you want to do. But I'm going to continue my program. I didn't tell her this, but I'm just going to continue my program. So if her diet is just something that is going to, like every other diet, and if they continue to see me work in my program, hopefully they can they can come my way. And but yeah, and my others, most of my brothers and sisters, they just think the same way like yours, like, oh, it's just another diet,
or a lot of them think it's too much money. They say it's too much money to do.
Yeah,
a lot of them think that. They're like, oh, it's too much money, I'm not doing that.
Do you think it is?
Huh? Do I think it is? No, not now, but I did at the time. When I first started, I thought it was too much money too. But I don't think it is now. I know that they can read the reflection and the micro images and the mirror self. I know all that stuff. But no, I do. I know all that stuff. I know it. But they think it is. Especially does anyone struggle with this? Clients who then go researching and find products that are very similar to take shape. And they still want you to coach them. And they want you to coach them while they have Quest cereal protein bars and Special K protein cereal and all this stuff. And yet you're still coaching them. Does anyone else struggle with that?
No.
So I have a coach who's going through that right now with a client.
It's so hard. I'm going through it with like 5 people. They've cut their orders in half because they're supplementing with things that are similar and are working. They're working. So it's like hard. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I'm finding it difficult. My business has shrunk a lot.
It is really hard, and I think I just stress this with clients a lot, that it's really hard to find a match per match to our product. So all of our products have 11 to 15 grams of protein and carbohydrate in them. And they have all of the macronutrients that you need. So vitamins, minerals, healthy fats, protein, carbohydrate. Special K cereal, protein Special K cereal does not have that match to our cereal. It just doesn't. Now they may be losing weight, but it may not.
But they're not keeping up their nutrition.
Yes, yeah, they're missing out on macronutrients. So what they're doing is they're probably not in but they're on a really low calorie plan. And what that happens is your body will begin to break down because it doesn't have the macronutrients that you need to thrive, to be in that fat burn.
Right.
Really, really important to make sure that you have the match between protein and carbohydrates with the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients and the healthy fat. So even using Dr. A's 100-calorie fueling list, each of those 100-calorie fuelings doesn't have all the macronutrients that you need to thrive. It's not recommended that you're on a 5-in-1 using those 100-calorie fuelings for your 5 meals, because, for example, one of those fuelings is a cup of raspberries or something. There's no protein in that, and it's not in a fat burn program. So those fuelings are great to supplement if you're on a 3-in-3 plan, or you're, can't do all the fuelings, but it's really important to get all the macronutrients that you need. So that's what I stress. And then I don't get anybody trying to find them outside. I just make you can't find it. And
that's what I tell them too. And then they come to me with it, and they want me to do the comparison research, which is hysterical. Like, they want me to find them substitutes.
So what I do is send them to nutrition support and say, take a picture of the label and email it to nutrition support, and nutrition support will send an email back giving it a kibosh.
Good. That's a great idea. And what I tell them too, you might be able to get on Amazon Prime this box of 15 protein cereal bars for $19.99, but it doesn't come with a coach. And the whole bio network that we have, and all of the support and all of these calls, it doesn't come with any of that. The problem is when you have a client who's like, they're doing half orders and then substituting. So they're getting your coaching because they're your client, but they're not using all the products. It's a sticky wicket, but I like that, to call nutrition support and see what they say.
Absolutely. And I would have them do it, and I even do it sometimes for my clients in the beginning. Like, take a picture of that for me, give me all the nutritional facts, and I'll send it to them, and they'll come back. And so if you do that for a first couple and they keep getting the kibosh on it, then you can tell them, now why don't you send that and come back? Because they're missing macronutrients, and what they're doing is probably writing just a really low calorie plan, but their body can't be into that fat burn. So their body's going to break down because they don't have all of those nutrients that they need to thrive.
And it'll eventually bite them in the butt because they'll regain quicker. Your metabolism slows down when your protein breaks down, and it will bite them in the butt.
Yeah, they slow their metabolism down because
I know.
in this fight or flight, trying to like, they're in starvation mode. You cannot be on a 1,000-calorie plan and thrive without really being in a good fat burn. I don't believe.
That's a good answer for them.
Probably talk to a lot of different people. I mean, I tell you, you can talk to 25 different dietitians, and you will get 25 different meal plans and 25 different ideas. But why our program works is because it's scientifically proven. The research is done for us, like, do they want to get to their goal in a healthy place? Or do they want to struggle for the rest of their lives trying to? And I get it that they're losing weight, so they think it's grandiose and everything's great, but it's not necessarily. I would doubt that it's sustainable for them.
Right. Right.
So that's
but that's a good answer. I'm glad I asked. I'm glad I asked, because sometimes I almost feel like your friend there said, I'm sorry, I didn't catch her name. You almost take it personal, and you feel attacked, almost like as if you're trying to just, fool them into buying a more expensive product. You know what I mean? And so you get like defensive almost. I do anyway. And I have to learn to not be like that. People are just asking,
Yeah, that's what I kind of took it personally, at the moment, but then I thought about it. I said no, and then I told her, I said, as long as you're getting healthy, you're my sister. But I kind of took me aback because I had called her like a month and a half before that, and she never did call me back.
Yeah. I think it's a good lesson in trying to not take things personally. If you read the 4 Agreements, that book, that's one of the 4 agreements, because this isn't about us, this is about them, and not everybody's going to come along for the ride. And I've been in this industry for over 20 years, not the health coaching industry, but just in the health and fitness industry. And people look at this, I think people in the beginning, when they become health coaches, they look at it as they're selling. And I truly have taken this on as it's like a tool in my pocket that I'm helping people. And I help people without any product at all, just because I want to be known as this knowledgeable health coach. I don't want to be known as somebody that you have to eat my products to, you know, get my help. But what in turn happens is that they go on plan because it is by far the most efficient way to live their life and get to their goal in a healthy way. So, but you got to come across as that, you know, if you feel like you're selling something, if you feel that it's pushing product, other people are going to feel that too. And that takes practice, I think, because you can say, how are we not selling product? That's how we get paid. The more product they buy, the more product we sell. But, you know, honestly, it's, to me, about helping people. And, you know, in the end, and I eat all the products, you know, like, you know, I still have 3 a day. So it's something that I truly believe in. And it for sure as heck helps me get through a day. You know, so I don't know. Albert, what do you have to say?
Oh, I really like what you had to say right there. And congratulations that you're an integrated director now. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And I wanted to say, recently I heard something on an audio thing I was listening to that basically the man was saying, if I focused only on getting people through the door or whatever I'm trying to sell, and those kind of numbers, I'd be dead already. I don't focus on that. I focus bigger. I focus way bigger so that the numbers that I'm wanting to get, they're already a given. I'm like trying to play well beyond this. And I think that's what you're saying right there. You're playing bigger than the sell. You're playing at a dedication level and a realness level, the authenticity. I'll do this whether or not you buy a product. I care about your health. And I really think that this is the best option for you. If you have a better one, maybe I'd sell that one. Probably I would. I mean, I think that's going to be my approach too. And I don't know what to say. Maybe I'm a little sheepish saying this, that I haven't. You started this conversation a while back saying, what are some things you haven't been doing? Well, I haven't been on the phone every single day, and I've got all kinds of excuses or whatever. But I have had fun doing whatever it is I'm doing, whether it's like personal health issues or whether it's once in a while welling up with this like motivation to just call the most important person I need to call, and I'll call them. It doesn't happen, and I don't generate that as often as I'd like, but it's my micro step. I'm happy for that.
Yeah,
I'm a little sheepish that I haven't done it bigger, but oh well.
Yeah, well, congratulations, because that's what it's
Thank
about. It's about these small things. You guys were not on the call in the beginning when I was talking about, I ran a half marathon this morning, and I was thinking about everybody.
I heard that.
Oh, you did hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So pushing out of your comfort zone, you know, when you run a race, your body doesn't feel 100% the entire time, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop, you know? So it's about pushing through that. And maybe that obstacle is picking up the phone. Maybe it's, you know.
And Nora, and when you do push through, how do you feel? Because it's not a miserable pushing through, is it?
No, not at all. So
it's like a joyous or righteous or I don't know, some kind of something positive pushing through.
Yeah. You know, okay, so this is a half marathon's 13.1 miles.
Damn.
I was not trained for this event. The longest I've run many half marathons. I run 1 to 2 a year, but because we moved and I have a lot of life excuses that got in my way, and none of them are really an excuse. I just didn't make time for it. The most I had ran is 8 miles. So I got to the point of the 6 mile mark. I was like, okay, here we are, 6 miles, 7 mile mark. Okay, I'm over halfway. And I went into the race. I put no pressure on myself at all. Like, oh, if I need to walk, I'll walk. I don't care. I'm not in it to PR. I'm just there to go. And then I'm at 8 miles. Okay, here I hit my longest run. Now I'm at 10. Now I know, okay, I've got 3 more to go. I can do this. So that's what I was thinking about. Like, how do you relate this to your business? If you need to get 5 clients, if you push yourself, okay, I need to call 5 people this week. If I need to get 5 more clients, maybe every week you call 5 people. And if you don't know 5 people that need to lose weight or get healthy, that doesn't matter, because you call 5 people just to pick up the phone and say hi. You know, you talk to 5 people that you never talked to before. You know, you go up to 5 people, you know, whether, and just strike up conversation and say, hey, what do you do? You know, and maybe you know someone, but you don't know them. Does that person know that you're a health coach? When you look at your life, this is what I want everybody to do this week. Look at your life and look at everyone you know. Look at all of your Facebook friends, look at all of your family, look at your childhood friends, your college friends, and do they know you're a health coach? And if they don't know you're a health coach, that's a conversation to have, and you're getting the word out. And it's not like, I'm a health coach, you need to be my client. But maybe it's like, you know, I've started this new thing and I'm, you know, looking for support. Do you know anyone that could be helpful? They say time and time again in all this training, like, if you opened a restaurant, what would you be doing? You'd shout it from the rooftops, come on, everybody, come and have a free appetizer or whatever. So, you know, what could you do that's getting outside of your comfort zone? And me too, like, I need to for sure pick up the phone more. You know, that's just, you can get really, and I have now coached 2 years and I've gotten really good at waiting for those referrals to come in the door and waiting for those Facebook post response. But that's not going to continue to grow my business at this level.
Right. Right.
I'm glad.
In my first year, I remember the year mark, I think I was at 90 clients I had helped. And I thought, oh my God, that's so awesome. I'll hit 100. You know, so my goal was to hit 100 by the year. And I think I got to like 96 or 7 or something like that. And now I look at my 2-year mark and I'm like at 157. And I was like, oh God, what happened? Well, because in the beginning, I was, you know, talking. And then as I settled in, I was waiting for referrals. So I started to notice the difference. Like I thought my year 2, maybe I'd be at 200 clients or whatever. So, you know, it's just, and I don't think it's like about selling yourself. I think it's just about getting out of your comfort zone and sharing a little bit more. I don't know, which is hard. It's hard for everybody. I don't know if anybody would say it would be easy, but maybe Matt Hagee might.
Yeah, why would he? Why would he say is it easy?
That will probably watch the video, so we can't compare ourselves to that.
I have to ask, why would he say is it easy? I think it's because he's in that mental zone. When it's easy, how do you generate the easiness? Like that's what I'm talking about. I'm only up for it if it's absolutely easy and like joyous. If it's becoming work, I'm not gonna do it because I'm pretty sure I'll do it wrong. I need to start being able to turn it on like a light switch, you know, on and off. That's what I'm hoping for, because that's maybe the only way to fit in my life, because I'm going to keep teaching. I'm going to keep teaching as a high school English teacher, and it takes a lot of time, a big chunk of my life for peanuts. But still, I mean, I want to add this other thing, and it's got to fit in so easy. Like with my children, it can't be work. It's got to feel joyous.
Yeah, and Matt's a teacher. I don't know if he'll say it's totally easy, but
well, he's a PE teacher, so you know that's different.
It's totally different than
I'm bagging on him. I'm an English teacher with stacks of papers to grade.
No, PE does not have to. My husband's a science teacher, so PE, you're not grading, you know, essays like you are, Albert. There's definitely a different comparison, but I think also, I know with Matt, like, you know, Matt helps a lot of people that are, you know, have 10, 15, 20 pounds to lose. And those people, when you have 10 or 15 pounds to lose and you lose that weight, people want what you have. They want to lose their 10 to 15 pounds. There's a lot of people, a lot of women out there that want to lose 10 or 15 pounds, and men too. So those are pretty good referrals. So I don't know, we need to have Matt come on as a guest speaker and share.
That'd be awesome.
I think that'd be great. But I had a talk with Matt a couple weeks ago, and he said a couple things that stuck with me. One is, he's like, how many Facebook friends do you have? I said, oh, I don't know, about 600. He's like, I have 2,000. He's like, so right there, my audience is much, much bigger. He's like, so, you know, friend everybody, you know, everybody you meet, find them on Facebook and friend them. And then just by that, you know, your network will grow, your sphere of influence will grow. And, you know, and then we also do have to recognize that he's been a PE teacher for a long time. He's already known as a health-minded guy, and it's his personality to be just putting it out there all the time. Not to take away from anything that he's done. He's amazing. But, you know, he did have that foundation to build on. That's, for me, that's kind of where my mind has been at. I want to start, I think it's about staying power, because people are watching, and it's not, maybe they're thinking about it, or maybe they know someone who they want to go on program. And the fact that they're going to always know that I'm there. I'm not just, you know, this, I have a coupon, so I'm posting this week, that, you know, that I'm always there, kind of reinforcing the fact that I'm, you know, a health-minded person and I want to help people. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, is I want to start building a little bit of a community around where I live, and also on Facebook as well. And, take it from there.
Yeah. I guarantee we all have spheres of influences we have not tapped into yet.
And we could always make new ones.
Yeah, totally.
That's like I joined, I mean, I love God and I love my church, but we joined some home groups because, first of all, it's something, you have to live your life and do what you like to do. You can't be disingenuous. You have to be genuine. Yeah. But I genuinely went out of my zone to make more connections in things I like and want to do. So where it was always in my mind to join a home group and I didn't make time for it, I said, I'm going to make time for it. And that's more connections. That's more people I'm going to know, and it's organic. It's people I want to know and people I enjoy, but it opens up more doors. I'm going to go back to school this in September because I like school. It's something I've always wanted to finish. I'm going to take anatomy and physiology. I'm going to meet a lot more people. Yeah. So you can make more, you know, there's a huge world out there. So it's not just about tapping into what you already have. It's about opening the doors on other things.
Totally. Yeah.
That's a really good point, because I was thinking to myself, like, on the Matt Hagee example, like, I probably have 500 Facebook friends. I'm like, how do I go meet 1,500 more people? I just don't in my day come across that many more people. But, you know,
if you did one a day, you'd have, you know, 365 more friends at the end of the year.
Well, there's also another way to do it. Like, for example, I do dog rescue. So there's a Shih Tzu fur baby Facebook group, and I post pictures of my dogs. I genuinely enjoy it. Then anyone who likes any of the photos I post, I friend them.
Yep.
That's a good
I friend
idea.
every single, sometimes 50, 60, 70 people will like a video or post I put up about my dog. And it's genuine. I love my dogs, love to share my dogs. Now I have and I will friend all 50 or 60 of them and maybe make 20 friends.
There's a lot of Facebook groups. A lot of Facebook groups.
Yeah, but just make sure it's organic and something you like so you don't come off as fake. Like, that's one thing. I never want to be fake, and I think it's my fear of being fake that is my my wall. I don't want to be perceived as a salesperson or as disingenuous or dishonest in any way. And my fear of that, I think, comes across and pushes people away. You know what I mean? And it's like, I like when people say you are the cause and effect of your own situation. You know?
I had a good example this morning of somebody I went to junior high with, Shelly. She had posted something. I made a comment on her post. Somebody else that I had like kind of forgotten about commented on the post, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen him since high school. I wonder how he is. Click friend. He accepted my friend request. I was waiting for the start of my race this morning. This was at 5 a.m. You know. And like, didn't know if he would remember me or not. He accepted my friend request, you know, like, so when friends, you know, comment or like, you know, you can go through their friends and see, you know, who you know and who you haven't thought of friend requesting.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a big one, but okay, guys, we're up on an hour here. So, okay, how about everybody give me one thing that they're going to try to do in the next couple of weeks? to grow as a person or a business or anything?
I actually have two things. One thing that Janet said
Yeah.
was to call like somebody and see if they can recommend somebody, even if they're not ready to do the program. So like with my sisters, I could call them again and say, you know, I know you're doing your program, but do you have anybody that may benefit from what I can help them with? That's one of the things. And another one is what you just mentioned with Facebook. A lot of people have requested me for to be friends, and I kind of have ignored those requests. So this is opened my eyes right now, so I'm going to go ahead and accept those.
Mm-hmm.
Accept everyone and
Yeah.
friend everyone. Yeah. Don't hide. Yeah. Okay, so I am picking up the phone to 5 people this week. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Did I have that?
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna speak to some doctors. I just quickly, just to tell everyone how great Take Shape is, in case you were concerned. Wednesday, I used to weigh 308 pounds. Wednesday night, I had severe pain. I went to the ER. They had to take out my gallbladder by emergency surgery this past Wednesday.
Oh my gosh.
I was, by Thursday, absolutely fine. If this had happened to 308-pound Karen, they would have had to do an open procedure instead of laparoscopy. I would still be in the hospital. I probably would have suffered complications. And I went home the next day. I went walking my dogs, walking around the neighborhood. Take Shape for life. Where would I have been without it? Seriously. That's my life. So this is a great program.
Karen,
So
geez,
Karen,
just
you need to
record
post
that
that.
and post that live video of that right now. I wish I had just recorded you. You would have got 1,000 hits.
Well,
Freaking
it's
awesome.
amazing.
That's your
I-
story.
Amazing.
Post it already.
That's why I did it as I'm applying for that, what is it, Ignite or, the contest.
Yeah,
I recorded myself from my
Oh, I
hospital
forgot to do that.
for the contest.
it's not over. You have till June 15th, right?
Yes,
Oh,
go
okay.
for it. Go for it.
Cool.
Yeah,
Go for it.
everybody.
Aaron, you have to post that. That's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
You should do
Thank
like
Take
this
Shape.
live video telling people on Facebook like how this has saved your life.
Yeah.
You just did that one, Karen, like a boss.
Okay, Albert, what are you going to do this month or this week?
I'm going to read this week. I'll read a chapter of Day of I Am a Badass.
Okay.
That's a
Sounds
good book.
fun. That's what they
It
say.
is.
That's what you guys say.
It is.
I'm going
It's
to check
good.
it out. I just got it today.
Okay, Shelley, what about you?
Oh, you're gonna put me down. I'm gonna do a come back to me.
Okay, Karen Mays.
I have a long list of people I have not called. So I have some time the next 2 weeks. So I'm gonna try and call. I'm going to call 5 people a day. And I'm gonna try and meet 1 new person a day.
Good one.
Yeah.
Very good.
And, I've had several people at work tell me that I'm an inspiration. And I just, I like to hear that. But maybe now I can actually go and approach them and say, well, you think I'm an inspiration, would you like to, talk to them a little bit more and just get to know them and see if they kind of want to do it or what they feel like. So I'll go.
Yeah. That's awesome. Everybody, by the way, Tuna jumped on as a coach with Karen. They're now co-coaches. So that's very
Yay.
exciting.
Good job.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, Shelley.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of something I want to mention. I think I've said to you before, like I have a lot of contacts on LinkedIn, and I recently updated sort of my job profile on LinkedIn as a certified health coach stuff. And I got a fair amount of people that wrote back and just, did the auto, like, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. And I want to go back to them and say, thanks for congratulating me. I'm trying to grow this. If you know of anyone who needs help, let me know. And then also make sure I'm friends with any of those folks on Facebook.
Awesome. That's great. Okay. Terrific. I love it all. So congratulations, everybody, for finishing May strong. And let's go and attack June. Let's go out and help as many people as we can. All
Yeah.
right.
Thank you.
Yes.
Nora.
You're
Thanks.
All
welcome.
right. Thank you.
Nora.
Thank you, Nora.
Have a great
Bye,
night.
guys.
Congratulations again.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.